Hello everyone. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at an article from People. It's by Sean Newman. It was published on August 7th. And we have a situation here where we are looking at people on the left and they're complete and total morons, or they're just disingenuous as all hell. See, Sean here wrote this article with the title, Trump, known for fixation on women's looks, calls Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez a real beauty. Now, do you think Trump is referring to her on her looks, crazy eyes here? Or do you think he was using it in the context of she's a real piece of work? I'm thinking it was more along the lines of a real piece of work. I know it was. You can just tell by the context of it. But of course, Sean here is too dense, or he's just looking for something, with people, his editors, looking for a story. Let's see the lead in here. The president has been criticized about making dismissive remarks towards women throughout his career, including attacks on fellow political candidates, actresses, models, and news anchors. Now, what's funny is they can sit there and say vile, nasty shit about him. Vile and nasty shit. He says something about them, might refer to their looks like Rosie, where he was just ragging on her being this fat, nasty skank. She can talk shit about him. He talks shit back, and oh no, evil bad Trump. I mean, it's so sad. But in this case, they're like, well, he's talking about Ocasio-Cortez and says she's good looking. Not what he was saying, you dumb shit. Anyway, President Donald Trump referred to New York Rep. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez on Thursday as a real beauty while attacking her stance on the environment. Now, this is what's funny. Why would Trump call her a real beauty while attacking her, supposedly attacking her on the environment? You mean like calling out her demented, deranged Green New Deal bullshit? But okay, whatever. Trump, 74, was delivering remarks at a Whirlpool facility in Clyde, Ohio, when he began to rail against left-wing environmental policies, and then turned his attention to the 30-year-old lawmaker's physical appearance about 45 minutes into his speech. Actually, no, that's not what he did. The whole context of saying someone is a real beauty is like they're a piece of work. It has nothing to do with their looks. You could say that about the ugliest fuck on the planet, and you're not talking about their looks, clearly. But in this case, you need it to be about something like that, because you've got to do your virtue signaling, identity politics, evil bad Trump picking on, a woman, which, I look at it this way. We're supposed to be in a world of equality. That means you take the good with the bad. So, men have been known to talk shit about each other. Women want to be on an equal playing field, then they should learn to talk shit and to be able to receive having shit talked about them. It's really that simple. But see, they can't handle it, which is why they want to, curb people's speech, or one of the reasons why, they want to try to limit free speech, because they can't handle and hang with the big boys when it comes to things like banter, in most cases. And they get their asses handed to them, proverbially. Anyway, let's move on here. The president began by criticizing Ocasio-Cortez's large-scale environmental plan, the Green New Deal, which he said was conceived by a young woman, AOC plus 3, I say. Oh, now here's what he said. AOC, that's a real beauty, isn't it? Come on now. You have to know he's referring to her, that saying she's a piece of work. But anyway, so AOC, that's a real beauty, isn't it? Trump said. She knows as much about the environment. She knows as much about the environment. Do we have any young children here? As young as that young child over there. I think he knows more, and certainly knows nothing about the economy. Oh, and she certainly knows nothing about the economy. Wow. Yeah. When he's saying that's a real beauty, saying she's a piece of work, right before he leads into this, you are like idiots, or just like sleazy, dishonest, like scumbags, or a combination of both, possibly. And what you think is this is actually going to, like, sell as a narrative. I mean, I know you're stupid, but you really, beyond the Kool-Aid drinking lefties, you really think everyone else is stupider than you. Excuse me. I need to get a sip there of my soda. This is ridiculous. This is so sad. This is what the left has come to. They take something out of context and literally show you what he said, which clearly shows that he's saying she's a piece of work. And that she's a moron and the kids are smarter than her. Ocassio-Cortez did not respond to the president directly, but she retweeted others' defense of her educational background. She majored in economics and international relations while graduating cum laude from Boston University in 2011. Oh, I'm sure she came loudly in order to graduate cum laude. She had to be blowing her fucking professors, especially economics. This bitch has no clue about economics. The only way she passed the class was blowing the professor, I'm sure. I wouldn't doubt it. Hell, I'd probably bet on that one. She's dumb as a stone. Well, she went to Boston College. Oh, so what you're saying is she's a diversity? She was a diversity admission? Okay. And then she was made cum laude probably because, diversity? Or the fact that she was blowing her professors? Because that's the only way she graduated from BC. I'm sorry, BU. Why am I saying BC? I flipped those two around. But Boston University, BU. So, yeah, I stand corrected. I screwed up. I even read it. I see that, and for whatever reason, I flip them. It's like college dyslexia. But, yeah, she had to have been sucking dick to get her grades the way they were. I'm sorry. Trump's latest statement adds to his lengthy history of focusing on people's physical appearance in professional contexts, particularly women. But this wasn't a focus on her physical appearance. He was saying she was a piece of work, you dumb shit. Oh, the president. See, this is another thing that gets me. Before Trump, all right, president was always capitalized, all right, because it's a proper noun. Since the Trump era, it's now a lowercase p for president. It's like their little defiance. Because they always, when they were referring to Obama as the president, like all previous presidents, president was always capitalized because it's a proper noun. You were referring to the president of the United States. This is their little infantile defiant shit. It's so sad. I'll show Trump I won't capitalize president because he's not my president. You're a fucking retard, Sean. Everyone at People is a retard. Your editor who should have read this and said, yeah, president's a proper noun, retard. Every last one of you are retards. Thinking that is your way to defy the president, you dumb bastards. The president has been criticized about making dismissive remarks towards women throughout his career, including attacks on fellow political candidates, actresses, models, and news anchors, among others. Yeah, he ragged on Rosie O'Donnell. All right. No, I'm not talking on the literal physical sense, but when it comes to like banter, okay, even to the physical sense, like man on man, but you don't raise a hand to a woman as far as I'm concerned. Don't get me wrong, there are plenty of women that deserve to get hit, but I was raised not to do it. But on the note of like the banter stuff, just the banter, you talk shit, you get hit. You want to talk shit, then you should expect to have shit talk back. It's that simple. But see, they don't like that. Every one of the political candidates, the actresses, the models, the news anchors, they all talked shit. They got verbally hit. At least he's not doing the Sean Connery thing saying, sometimes you just have to smack a bitch. That was a really bad Connery. But you get the point. In May, Trump lamented that women reporters at the White House weren't acting like 1950s movie star and sitcom housewife Donna Reed. Oh no, he made a comparison to Donna Reed, basically saying being civil and nice and professional and sweet. because Donna Reed was known as like the idea of America's sweetheart. And he's not saying like being subservient. He's saying, you know, because like she really wasn't that subservient in the show. She was just very polite and nice. She killed you with kindness. Come on now. After Trump's comments about a pair of CBS reporters who are women were widely criticized, CNN commentator Sophia Nelson tweeted, "He finally confirmed what we modern-day women always knew. He expects women to be out of the 1950s sitcom. In their place, quiet homemakers." No, that's not what he's saying. What he was saying is he's saying, you know, like, be nice like her, be a decent fucking human being. But see, you people can't do that because you've been Trump deranged. You've lost your minds and you're acting like idiots. Almost 4 years later, and you've gotten worse at the worst time. You people are morons. You want Trump out of office, so you kick your stupid shit into overdrive. And you piss off and alienate and upset more and more people. You give them a reason to vote for him, to say screw you. You think that they're going to vote for Biden so that you'll calm down. Or you think they'll vote for Biden because they buy into your bullshit. But you're not intimidating them. And people aren't that stupid. You are pushing them towards Trump. You morons. These people are friggin' idiots. The president's comments about Ocasio-Cortez came the same day that the representative, a leading progressive in the squad, you mean one of the leading, like, scumbags in the squad? Every one of them are under an investigation or have just been found, you know, guilty of some shit or found that they've done some shady shit in their investigation. Tlaib, she didn't intentionally, you know, bilk her campaign for money, even though she was not considered a candidate at the point that she was getting paid still. Oh, that wasn't intentional. Oh, no. When the federal agency or office that investigated this said that, I was like, are you kidding me? How is it not intentional to keep paying yourself after you're no longer a candidate? How the fuck is that not intentional? How is that not fraud? She should be up on federal charges. But nothing to see here with the corrupt squad, a bunch of commies doing graft and bilking the fucking taxpayer. Hey, what the hell? That's perfectly fine, though. You people are idiots and assholes in these bureaucratic pencil-pushing positions that allow shit like that to fly. Sorry about the tangent, but I read an article earlier about that, and that kind of pisses me off. It's like, oh, she didn't intentionally do it. Wait a minute. She was paying herself after she was no longer a candidate, and that wasn't intentional. Anyway. But anyway, so a leading progressive in the squad of other first-term congresswomen introduced the Climate Equity Act alongside California Senator Kamala Harris. Oh, you mean where they want to get rid of airplanes? They want to make everything green. Like on the note of retrofitting houses and spend billions upon billions of billions and, you know, just more billions upon billions of dollars. Because the idiots on the left have this idea of, oh, well, if you can just keep spending, you print more money. That's not how it works. This is a woman who's supposed to have a degree in freaking economics. But she just wants to keep spending money. Gimme, hand me over. Come on now. And then you try to act like, well, she knows economics. Clearly she doesn't. The proposed legislation calls on the federal government to take a stronger consideration for low-income communities when making environmental decisions. Oh, no. It's social justice, identity politics, income disparity bullshit. That's not the appropriate term I'm looking for, but it's close enough. That's what it is. It's socialism under the guise of environmentalism. But the two have like intermingled to where you don't know where one ends and the other begins. Trump slammed the Green New Deal, the broader initiative of which the Democratic-led bill is a part, as a horrendous piece of legislation, because it is. He also dismissed Ocasio-Cortez's environmental goals as a socialist takeover of the U.S. economy, because it is. I love how you leave out the fact that it is. You don't expect people to know. I mean, when Steven Crowder read the Green New Deal on his channel, it pissed off a lot of people. They tried to get it taken down for copyright bullshit, because they did not want people to see what was physically in the Green New Deal and see that it is exactly what Trump said it is. Anyway, in a statement about the newly introduced legislation, Ocassio-Cortez said, major environmental policies must be written by the black, brown, and low-income people who have been and will be disproportionately impacted by it, just like the Green New Deal envisioned, according to The Hill. Yeah, so fuck Whitey. Fuck Whitey. You know, let us write this shit. You know what? So they're basically, this is not only about socialism or communism in disguise, however you want to phrase it. Marxism, we'll say. This is about the fact of fucking over people because of their skin color. Because of this perceived bullshit. You know, there's supposedly systemic racism. But yet, Ocasio-Cortez, the dumbest bitch on the planet, somehow gets elected to Congress with the color of her skin and her ethnic background. Barack Obama becomes president of the United States. Yet there's all this systemic racism. This is about literally having the black, black, brown, and low-income people, the Democrat bread and butter, say, fuck you all, Whitey. We're going to run the show, all right? And they're going to use that to turn them into the same fucking low-income, people stuck in the lower half of the income bracket type people. You're going to have the rich and the poor. These idiots don't realize. See, they're looking over at it and then they're like, well, Whitey keeping me down. All right? Whitey got more than me. And it's like, you fucking idiots. You have no clue about what you're talking about. So they went to work every single day. You're sitting on your ass. You didn't want to go do that shit job. They worked shit jobs. They put themselves through school. They got themselves an education. They worked during the day, went to school at night. Got a better job. Got experience. Moved on to another job. Got promoted at that place. Moved on to another place. And now that they're living well, and they have the home with the swimming pool, and their 2 kids and everything else, you're just fucking jealous because you couldn't get off your goddamn freaking asses. That's what it comes down to. As a libertarian, you have a choice, but you want to get shit hand. I see how it is. All right, and I'm not talking the Libertarian Party, social justice bullshit, the far left Marxist takeover of the bullshit Libertarian Party. Okay, the Libertarian Party. I said from the early days as a teenager of me being a libertarian. Okay, I said the Libertarian Party was a fucking joke. I said, because you can't be a libertarian and subscribe to political parties. If you do, you're not a libertarian. Because it's about the individual. It's about the fact of what this particular person can bring to the game. It's about, are they going to do what you want them to do? It's not voting along party lines. But anyway, as a libertarian, I see it. It's about being lazy. I mean, you've got the fact that right now, these people are making an extra $600 a week, or were making an extra $600 a week. And they're collecting unemployment. They get some money squirreled away because, shit, they haven't, needed to, they haven't needed to go really spend money because they're stuck at their homes. They're not all blowing their wads. People don't want to return to work right now because they're collecting. If you've got people in Detroit collecting fucking welfare. Do you honestly think they want to, and they can sit on their ass, watch, fucking reruns of Springer or whatever else, all day, watch fucking daytime TV and have Section 8 covering their housing. They've got SNAP covering their food. They're getting other, assistance on the note of welfare. Do you think they want to go work at fucking McDonald's for 8 fucking hours for $9, $10? Well, actually, in like say Detroit, they've got a minimum wage of like 10 or 15. So yeah, like 10 or more an hour. Of course not. When they can sit on their ass and have everything provided for them. So now you have people. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying this about all in the black, the brown, or the anything. I'm not saying like with a lot. But the people that are demanding this shit, that are for this shit, they're the ones that want to sit on their ass and just live off the labor of other people. That's what it comes down to. Anyway, I've covered this well enough. I'm going to leave things here. If you liked this video, depending on where you are watching it, please give it an upvote or thumbs up. If you want to know when new content of mine hits the internet, don't forget to subscribe to one or more of my social media or video accounts listed here. Also, with YouTube, don't forget to ring that bell. You can find all of my video content on both BitChute and YouTube. This may not be the case with other places I upload to, but I will try to minimize this happening. You are always welcome to interact with me at any of these sites on the list, so feel free to do so. If you have anything you want me to cover in a video, when it comes to news or current events, send it right along to me. I will try to do my best to cover it. As always, thank you for watching.